following is a presentation of the iRacing Esports Network.
Focus, determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV. Welcome to the Suzuka International Racing Course for this round 10 of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series. We're entering the closing stages of the season now. Not too long to go before we crown a champion at Road Atlanta in a few weeks' time. Joining me in the commentary box alongside me, Adam Bath, for this one is BSRTC runner-up after what happened last Thursday. It's been made official. I'm sure there'll be a trophy in the post at some point, and of course he was the team principal of the team that finished third in the title as well, so another prize for him too. It's Alex Simpson, and Alex, it's Suzuka. I believe it's one of your favourite circuits, and we should be in for a good hour's racing here today in round 10.
Yeah, hello everybody. Indeed, it is one of my favourite circuits. I really do like this place. Driver's circuit, that first sector has got such an awesome flow to it. A good couple of overtaking opportunities. Real good mixture of sort of high, low speed and medium speed corners is what makes this one of the best circuits in the world, in my opinion. I'm sure that we're going to see some great racing here tonight. Obviously the MX-5s will be able to take full advantage of all of those overtaking places, as well as I would think probably the Mustangs will be looking into turn 1 and perhaps into the as well as their major overtaking spots. Should be yeah, like I say, should be good racing tonight no matter what. And yeah, looking at the championship standings that I'm just bringing up on screen right now, pretty much as we expected. The runaway leader with this championship, Aero Nom, 100% record at the moment, 330 points from Steve Thomas and Kevin Ford. Really is the battle for second place, I think, the rest of this season. Russ Ruddock in 4th, good season for Russ, and Jeff Jacobs in 5th. Looking at the Open Championship, only a few drivers in that one, of course, this season, but Raymond Bader Jr. and Jim McDonald on 174 points, tied for the lead, which is yeah, pretty impressive, nice and close. So keep an eye on that one with a few more rounds to go. Over in the ST class, well, it's Rob Hartley that leads the way now on 293 points from Mike Dam on 291. That is extremely close. 276 Travis Fenke after his win last week. Then it's Eric Violet. Sorry, Eric, I'm not sure quite why your name's getting mixed up there. And then it's Pascal Iannucci in 5th place. Over in the open category of the STs, It's Chris Thorman who's starting to pull a little bit away from Jacob Beasley now in second place. And it's Derek Holland, Bobby Charles, Jeff Lovell rounding out your top 5. Looking pretty interesting with only a handful of races left to go in this championship, Adam.
Yeah, I have to say that it is extremely close for the pros in the Mazdas, and it's very close as well in the GS Open category too. So plenty for us to keep an eye on. It may not be too close in the Mustang Pro Championship, but Aaron Nom's still got to make sure that he keeps it on the track. He's been doing a great job this season, as he always does. He's now got a teammate to help him in Sam Kazakouzanos in recent weeks, so that's helped his plight too. And we'll see if he can make it 10 out of 10 here today. It is the first Monday of the month. It is Manic Monday, I believe they're calling it. If the action on the circuit reflects that as we race towards the festive season. Some may even say it's begun. But either way, let's run you through the grid as we approach week 13 too. I'm sure we'll talk plenty about the upcoming tracks and cars that are set to arrive on iRacing in the next week. Looking at the grid, on the pole, it's Aero Nom. Second is Kevin Ford, just 0.2 of a second between them. The Bushfink and Flintstone Racing drivers. And it's Dexter Castro in third, Stephen Thomas fourth, Sam Kazakouzanos, we were just mentioning him, he's starting in fifth, and then Tyler Schiffler in sixth, Jeff Jacobs seventh, Michael Ruddock lining up in eighth, with Brandon Whitworth ninth, and Reed Miller, the Canadian, starting in 10th for Dirty Talk Racing. Russell Ruddock starting in 11th, Leon Wright in the One Wild One racing car starting in 12th, and then moving on back, 13th is Raymond Bader Jr. and Jennifer McDonald starting in 14th. Now onto the green class, the Mazda class, the ST class. Starting on the pole there is Rob Hartley with Mike Dam right behind him, just 2 points separating them and a few feet separating them on the circuit already. Jim List in third, fourth Pasquale Iannucci, and then it's Travis Venke in fifth, sixth for Dan Bristow, and then moving on further back we've got Dave Payton, Chris Torman, Jordy Fike, Eric Violet, Lyndall McMurphy, Ryan Walker staying up late here to start in 26th place overall, John Allen 27th, Bobby Childs 28th overall, and we move on even further back. It is a bumper-sized grid here today as we complete the iRacing season. It's Mike Taylor, Derek Holland, Andrew Fawcett, Mike Key, Edgar Sanchinelli, Patrick Prevenus, and then that is it. 34 cars set to take to the track here. 14 of them are Mustangs, 20 of them are Mazdas, Alex, as we get the very short pace lap underway here as we go through 130R.
Yeah, indeed. Looking forward to this race. Of course, we didn't get a chance to do the track guide, so I'll jump on with someone during this race and give you a guide around here. Like I say, one of the circuits that I love and know quite well. My best ever World Championship result came from here, which was 6th place, I believe, quite a few years ago now. Yeah, so definitely a highlight in my career. Right, here we go. Adam, over to you.
Yep, safety car coming into the pit lane. And the field bunch up 2 by 2 now as we go over the timing line. I believe here at Suzuka we get the green light when we get to the start line, which is a little bit further down. There we go, you see we've gone past the timing line, and any moment now the red lights will go out and will go green. And there they go. Round 10 of the Extreme Motorsport Ricmotech Sports Car Series here at Suzuka is underway. Good even start here by Norman Ford. It's going to be very close to see who's going to lead into the first corner. It's going to be... That's very close, and it's going to be Aero Nom, but around the outside is Kevin Ford. He's going to try and keep it in as much as he can, but it's going to be the championship leader, the man who's won 9 races out of 9 rounds, leading them into the S's. Meanwhile, here are the Mazdas. They're getting set to go. They won't get a green light here. They're just going to have to judge it, and it looks like Rob Hartley is the one that's going to have to judge when to go. He goes now. And the field fans out. It's a bit of a different start to the Mustangs because you don't get a green light to indicate to go. It's just the guy starting in the first place that dictates it. And look at that, Alex. They get swamped straight away. The 2 cars starting on the 2nd row in the class go past both Mike Dam and Rob Hartley going into the first corner.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. Of course, they do get a call. They get a call from the race admin, don't they? So
Ah, right, okay.
he sets them going. So, but yeah, they were both a bit tardy off the line there, and instantly done that. Either that, or it's tactical when they know that they need to save fuel already. And I tell you what, these guys are not above going strategic from literally word go here, I think.
May have started in a higher gear or something. I remember somebody in a real life racing series getting the jump on a row in front because of that. But either way, we're going into the Degner curves now. Sorry, spoon curve for the first time in the Mazda MX-5 class. And look at that lead. 2.5 second advantage for Aeronom already as we go up the back straight. Geordie Fike may have had a problem in the Aston Motorsports Mazda.
I'm looking at the event viewer on the live time, and it looks like Kevin Ford had a problem as well. So that.
Oh yeah, he's dropped to 4th, hasn't he?
So I don't know if there was some little coming together that we might have missed while we were watching the Mazda start. But certainly that's what's allowed Nom to just leap away. I feel, and of course, changed quite a lot because it was Ford followed by Dexter Castro, wasn't it, in 3rd? So Dexter's way down in 7th place now. So yeah, something must have gone on there that we haven't seen.
Well, it says on the event viewer that both Ford and Castro crashed at some point on this lap, so on the opening lap. So something may have gone on there. Meanwhile, Tyler Shiflett's got past Stephen Thomas at the end of the opening lap. It wasn't the best exit from the Casio Triangle. You would have noticed if you were watching. And through goes the Men Motorsports Ford into 2nd place. End of the opening lap then. 3.2 second lead for Aeronom. Tyler Shiflett in 2nd, again a 4th position. It's a fantastic opening lap for him. Stephen Thomas in 3rd. Then it's Kevin Ford that's dropped down to 4th. Even though he crashed on the opening lap, it's very difficult to see where the damage is on that Ford Mustang. And then it's Sam Katakouzanos who's kept his starting position in 5th. 6th is Jeff Jacobs and then Dexter Castro. So we've got a replay, Alex, going through the Degner curves.
Yeah, I think we needed to see this to find out exactly what happened. Oh, from behind, Dexter into Ford. That's it. Everybody checks up, and yeah, that's why we can't really see too much damage on Kevin's car. It was a light contact, but he has definitely got some on the rear of the car, and that explains totally now why there's this huge lead. And Nom will take that because usually the guys, and I don't think they'll mind me saying this, but they kind of use Nom just to sort of draft up behind and keep the pressure on him. But this time he's broke free of that draft already, and he can just sort of really show us what he's capable of here today. I worry that we're going to see a margin. I know this is early to talk about this. A margin that we haven't seen in this series for a long time, because he's just able to just drive away from him here today.
Definitely not the case in the battle for 2nd. Obviously we didn't get time to look at the track guide, but I'm sure that hairpin Kevin in the track guide would have definitely flagged it up as a key spot on the circuit, and it was definitely one of them in the opening lap as Tyler Shiflett runs very close to the grass on the outside, really risking it because 130 is one of the quickest corners on the circuit, and you don't want to get it wrong there, even though there is quite a lot of runoff area to the outside of the corner. Got modified in 2003 after Alan McNish suffered a big crash there in a Toyota back in 2002. And the Casio Triangle's been modified a little bit since the Formula 1 circus arrived here in 1987. Over the line then, lap 2 in the books, a few personal bests getting shown up there on the timing tower there in green as Stephen Thomas closes in a little bit there under braking going into the first major braking point, turn 1, and then I believe turn 2 as well. And very hard to slow the cars down, especially in front-wheel drive cars such as these, Alex. Front-wheel drive, something that you've got to know very well this season, and something you'll probably have to shelve now with the end of the BSRTC season.
Yeah, unfortunately. Like I say, I thoroughly enjoyed driving that. These, of course, aren't front-wheel drive; they are rear-wheel drive.
All right. There you go.
You can boot them and lose the rear pretty easily. Big American muscle cars, of course, so very underrated as far as the kind of performance that these things have got. But yeah, nonetheless, you are right with the front-wheel drives around here. Just a kind of circuit that really favours those rear-wheel drives, get the car rotating through the corners.
Yeah, I'd say that this a Kia around here probably isn't too pleasant. Not so often you get to drive a front-wheel drive car, Alex. No, your Audi's, is it 4?
Oh, my new... No, this one is front-wheel drive that I've got now, but my new one that's coming in well, I think it's going to be May, actually, it's going to get here, so it's going to take forever, seems to be.
Oh.
Thanks to new emissions test regulations and things like that. You know, you used to be able to buy a new car and get it like the week later, but, you know, here we are 5 months later. I'm going to get it, but yeah, that's four-wheel drive. Long story. I'm not moaning at all.
Well,
my timing screen is just lit up. Yeah,
Nom's
Bobby
crashed, does he? No, sorry,
Giles
it's on me.
Mike Taylor, I think.
Oh, well,
I think that was Ryan. Was it Ryan Walker? Perhaps got into him.
Oh, there's another one as well.
3 cars involved as well. Big hit. So,
it is very difficult to avoid a car that's crashed there, I know, because I got crashed into when I was doing an IMSA race a while back. But look at this. See it wrecked cars. That's Derek Holland in the Mandalorian racing car. No safety car at all. In fact, they have slowed down. A safety car might be out.
Competition caution, I reckon. It blows it all back up at the front. But yeah, 4 cars involved and cars still on the circuit and things like that. So, well, we haven't seen one of these for a little while, and
it's something that it looks like our overlay isn't. We need to dial in a yellow flag or something, because we didn't know about that. But the first thing we knew was that the car slowed down. But first safety car of the day.
We need that, don't we? So we'll have to speak to our software developer for that one. Big old caution flag comes out on screen somewhere. A lot of cars taking the opportunity to jump into the pits as well, or is that just those wrecked MX-5s? I'm not sure.
Well, Katakutanos has come in, and it looks like he may have crashed on the circuit because I think he's towed.
Oh, he's jumped back to the pits. Yeah, you're right, he has. Let's see what that one was about then, because was that a separate incident?
Well, here's a replay.
Well, that's... Oh, he is there in the background. Oh, with Dexter Castro, I think that was. Try that again. There we go. Selected the right car this time.
Oh! And Castro suffered a bit there too. Fortunately, there's a bit more runoff area going into the Casio Triangle than there is on the exit of Degner, so not too many more cars were involved in that. Probably why we got the safety car, to be fair, because they pretty much occurred at simultaneous times, I think. Both the Mustang and the Mazda incidents. So,
oh, he's knackered as well. Totally dead. Yeah, that's going to be his race done and dusted, unfortunately.
Well, we didn't expect this when we started the evening, Alex. Aero Nom's 3 or 4 second advantage is now a distant memory. And this safety car is going to be out for some time because we haven't even got to the end of the lap and the safety car picking up the leaders. So we are at least going to have, I think, two more laps of safety car here. So this could really help the fuel strategy for both classes here, because we're not really going to be getting green again until, I'd say, at least another 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah, well, I think what we'll do is we'll take the opportunity to say hello to the sponsors. Frank, of course, from Ricmotech, usually in the watching the broadcast. So hi, Frank. We'll throw it down to his advert and see what those guys over at Ricmotech have got for us. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Hopefully, the racing won't resume by the time we're back.
Thanks very much for the guys at Ricmotech as always. Coming up to 3rd year of us covering the Ricmotech Sports Car Series now. But not too many of them have had situations like this. A safety car after 8 or so minutes, involving 2 separate crashes, one in the Mazdas, one in the Mustangs, with Adam Mupp and Alex Simpson here with you along for the ride, and some pit stops occurring as well. But yeah, Alex, bit of an intriguing start here, and it's really shaken up the order, this, with a few of the quick guys in the Mazdas taking pit stops, I've just noticed, while we were on commercial break.
Yeah, it has. So Hartley, Fike and Allen all jumped into the pits. So yeah, we'll see exactly what happens there. But worth doing. We're of course waiting for the something that we haven't picked up. Well, we have picked up on, of course, is Nom's going particularly slow and he hasn't caught up to the back of the pace car yet. So I'm not sure how many more laps we're going to get, but of course at some point he's got to catch that pace car.
Is the safety car even out, Alex, or are they even?
I don't know.
Potentially doing are they doing a code 60 or whatever? Full course yellow.
Yeah, exactly. Might be. Might well be. Can't see one.
I'll go into the sim and see if we have a yellow flag on this. We don't actually.
Might be why we don't see one in the overlay. And of course, the worth pointing out that iRacing have brought a new admin control in for next build, actually, that allows you to throw a caution even if there is no caution enabled in the session. So, which sometimes gets forgotten about. So that's another feature. Of course, most people are interested in the day and the night, the new tracks and the new cars and things like that. But yeah, no new tyre model. I know a lot of the NASCAR drivers were super keen to get, but yeah, by the looks of it, that's probably coming in the next build.
Either way, yeah, there is no safety car on the yellow flag on the sim. So
yeah, so it's just Aeronom controlling it then. Ironic that they're in the Mustang, and of course the Mustang used to be the pace car, didn't it?
I wonder if we'll be going back to racing at the end of this lap. We'll wait and see. Either way, thanks for joining us on a Monday night. We've got a whole load of festive action to come over the winter as well on Apex Racing TV. Of course, if you were with us earlier, you would have watched the MX-5s still going strong. Wednesday we've still got the iRacing Le Mans series, not this week though, because it's week 13, and then for Thursday nights I believe we have a winter series planned with the BSR crew. Don't know what car it is. It might be
that's in the Radical, and Tuesday we still have an MX-5 winter series as well. I think it's this Saturday we've got the it looks like Nom's almost away. Yeah, they're sort of napping. He's going into the pits. No,
staying up. I think he might just be getting ready to go.
Pace. Yeah, one more pace. I was getting a bit giddy. A few people coming. That's Dexter Castro going in. Yeah, so we have the V8s, the Euro V8 supercars. Their Race of Champions event is on this Saturday as well. And I believe nothing's confirmed. There's been going to be a couple of little tweaks to the BSR Porsche Cup series as well, and that will be returning again for a winter series as well. So yeah, lots on here, and of course Sim Race as well GT series. That's going to be featured on the channel as well on a Thursday night. So an alternate crew could be doing that while the BSR TC's on. So if you don't fancy touring car and Kia action, well, you can switch over to our alternate channel and you can get some GT action as well. So yeah, busy next season.
Exciting year ahead. Some stewards updates for you. Car 13, Dexter Castro, handed a warning for his part in the collision down at the Casio Triangle. And car 117, which is, he scrolls through the timing screens, might be Jennifer McDonald's, has also been given a warning. There you go, there is number car 117. She's been given a warning too for the avoidable contact. Don't know whether they've resolved the Mazda incident, but those are the 2 warnings that we've got. No penalties as of yet, but for now we continue behind the safety car here with a quarter of the race already elapsed. On board with Tyler Shiflett, sat in second. He was quite a way behind Aeronom when we were under green flag conditions, but this safety car has allowed him to close right up. A Mustang has been in under the safety car and has got back out again. I'm just trying to work out which one it was.
It was Castro.
It was Castro.
But of course,
coming
he
in.
had quite a bit of damage, didn't he? So, well, possibly.
Yep. They're cruising around in a very high gear, Alex. Did I just see Tyler Shiflett there in 6th gear going into the hairpin? He's now in 5th actually as we cruise around.
Yeah, I think you're right there as well. I can bring up, of course, the on-screen display so we can get a check on the gear he's using. You're right.
Off the engine, isn't he?
5th, and that's just
like
to save fuel, you know. So
yeah,
I'm wondering if they were. Well, they're never going to make it on fuel, but of course it's super important that because these things take quite a while to fill up. So if they can save a whole bunch of fuel now, that's a lot of time that they'll save in the pits as well.
There you go. There's the revs cut. Gets back in there again. Some of these drivers may have a very good setup where they can just put the clutch in and then coast all the way. A bit like that. You had to get on the brakes a bit there as well. Remember Marcus Ambrose trying this and it ended awfully for him. Next to Castro, looks like he's passed all the Mazdas and is now back in 13th place. As we go up here, up into 130R. One of the quickest parts on the circuit here. This is where we cross over the circuit. It is a figure of 8 layout, very unique in a way that it is like this. We're now pretty much going over the tunnel. There it is from the helicopter. That's where the incident in the Mazdas
we're going green
occurred.
this time as well. The Mazdas have dropped back, so yeah, this is going to be it as well. Marco also pointing out on the chat, thank you very much, Marco, that this Sunday it's the Apex Racing special event as well from Suzuka and Charlotte, and that's in the Radical, I believe. So yeah, being put on, so that's going to be good. Definitely, we've seen a little bit of pace building up through there, and then checking up. When is Aero going to launch this one? Tyler right on his gearbox. We'll let him get away this time.
Gonna get the flag any second now. There it is. Back to green flag racing here at Suzuka after a 10-minute safety car period. Well, full course yellow period anyway. Into the first corner. Shiflett's on it straight away. He's trying to go around the outside, but Aeronom knows all about that. Now, cut back to the Mazdas. Going to be Pasquale Iannucci that will lead them to the green flag to get them back going again with a field that is very disjointed due to some pit stops occurring during the full course yellow period. Away they go again. It's Iannucci from Dam, from Jim List, then Schwenke, and then Violet, Bristow, Payton, Torment, and Ryan Walker. In the Youth Energy cars, they all stream into the first corner. Derek Holland has just come into the pits again. You can see that from the bottom of your screen. But on the first restart of the day, it looks like everybody's got through the first few corners anyway, as we go into the S's without incident. And it's great to see the Mazdas, especially from some of these angles, really attacking unique set of corners anywhere in the world. And somebody's a bit
sideways.
Who's in the front now is Chris Torment.
Chris Torment, so our Open Series title leader at the moment.
No such problems for Iannucci in the Crypto-G green car. It's Crypto-G orange Mike Dam in second in class, and then Jim List in the D2D Motorsports gold car. Got up from the colour, sat in third position as they go into the hairpin, one of the trouble spots in the Mustangs earlier on. See if the Mazdas get through without too much incident. It looks like for the time being anyway, they're all willing to follow each other as they get back up to racing temperatures and racing speeds.
Now, what's going to be interesting, because Hartley, one of those drivers that did come into the pits, is he going to be able to make it? Keep an eye on it. Of course, he will effectively have almost a free pit stop because he has come in. So, yeah, could be interesting to see how this is going to pan out. He needs to obviously get through the traffic quickly to get back towards the front, so he doesn't get held up too much. Yeah, will he make it to the end? That's the thing. And it's much closer at the front. Shiflett gone with Aeronom this time. It's not going to try and not going to let him out of his sights, I think, this time. Well, very different lines through turn 1 there.
I wonder if this could throw Dexter Castro back into it. He's been in the pits 5 times apparently. Once the full course yellow got out, it would have given him the opportunity to get the damage repaired and maybe top the fuel up, get some fresh tyres as well. And with 22 minutes elapsed, it could be interesting. Mike Dam's dropping down the timing screen. That's because he's come into the pits. Scheduled stop potentially for him, and it's going to be a killer because it's the end
I
of
was
the
about to
first
say,
lap
I
of green
don't think
flag
that's
running.
worked out at all. When you consider how far Hartley's going to be ahead, it is going to be miles. I just don't see how that's going to have panned out for Mike. He needed to give it as long as he could, I think, and try and build a gap to like Rob and co behind, but that's not to be. You have to do it the hard way now. It might be that it was just a bit early for Hartley to come in, and he can't actually make it to the end. We will have to wait and see, though.
Yeah, I don't know whether Hartley's going to have to save like his life depends on it. But either way, here's the battle for 3rd place in the Ford Mustangs. It's Kevin Ford who started 2nd, but got a little bit of contact with Dexter Castro down at the hairpin earlier on. And now we go onto the straight up towards 130R again. Time to build up some of the speed. Kevin Ford is going to have to do some defending here in the battle for 3rd. It looks like it because Stephen Thomas in the Driftline racing car is right with him. I wouldn't say he's going to go up the inside into 130R, but he does have a little look. Bit of defending potentially going on in the background as well. As Shiflett goes very wide, using a bit of the AstroTurf, and gets back on the circuit again without encountering too much drama. And this allows Kevin Ford and Stephen Thomas to close in a little bit on him actually as we mount the curbs, going through the final corner, up into 3rd gear.
I was going to say, let's take you for a lap around this circuit then, because
yeah, take it away.
Now there's no better time really. Go down the main straight, see turn 1 on the right hand side. It's kind of you've got to brake and turn at the same time. You can back, drift out wide, right up to the curb on the edge there, and yeah, just hope it's got enough speed off that the car just makes the apex for turn 2, all the way over to the right before swinging it over to the left as the first of the S's here. Again, very patient through the right-hander. Kind of need to sort of sacrifice speed through there so that this corner here, you've got a much better line through it. And then through the right-hander, that's the one that you need to get all the way over to the right to ensure that you can carry really high momentum through Dunlop curve, which is where Kevin is right now. And yeah, a bit of speed out there as we head towards the first of the Degners. Degner 1, you throw it in, use some of the curb on the inside and the curb on the outside. Heavy braking, down another gear. Not for Kevin, so just slightly different gear ratios in this car. But for Degner 2, always very tricky. Can understeer through there. Then into the hairpin, very, very tight corner, one of the tightest corners you'll do on iRacing. Important again to use the undulations of the circuit in there and get on the power nice and early. Kevin does exactly that. Great exit out of there and through this long right-hander. Have to talk to Chaz about. It's like 200 and something or other R, isn't it, through there? Into spoon curve. Throw it in there. Use the curb on the outside there. Don't go too far onto the Astro because it can upset the car. And then you've got lots of understeer as the adverse camber through the exit of spoon really, really hurts you. But Kevin, very, very patient, waiting for the car to bite before we got onto the gas. And we head into 130R here. Oh, there's Tyler using all the circuit and a little bit more. Throw it into 130R, use the curb on the inside to really open up this corner. Not so easy to do on the Formula cars. You can unsettle the car at the speeds they do. Heavy, heavy braking for the final chicane. Use the curb on the inside of both corners. On the power. Get a good exit. And yeah, if your car's a little bit squirrely, you'll run a little bit wide there just to keep it settled down. If it's not, you'll keep it nice and tight just to save time to the line. Lap.
There you go, good lap. Jeff Jacobs in, Jennifer McDonald's also in. 2 Ford Mustangs coming in at the end of that lap as we are 4 minutes away from the halfway point of this race. It's become a super sprint here at Suzuka today because of that full course yellow period. Back to the Mazda MX-5 class, where we're looking here at a bit of track extending from 17th place Dave Payton. Means that allows Rob Hartley to close in on Eric Violet going into the Casio Triangle here. The EV Paints car. Hartley, of course, one of the drivers that stopped earlier on. He was in the pit box for 21 seconds and was able to rejoin, still under the full course yellow, and it's meant that one of his rivals, Mike Dam, has really suffered. Dam is sat in 31st place overall. The next nearest car is 10 seconds away, I believe. So
you can see him on the map how much time he's lost, you know. So
yeah, he's at number 31.
Basically a free pit stop, wasn't it, for Hartley? You know, he just went from the front to the back of the pack, and he's already worked his way forward. He's sort of talent in this car, and yeah, if he can make it, I mean, he's laughing basically all the way to the bank, that's for sure. But if he can't, then yeah, it becomes very interesting. And of course, Dan might actually take the driving seat here because nobody's gone with him. He's on his own. He's one of the quickest drivers out there. He can just lap. He's not going to get held up in the pack or anything like that. So he might come out with a distinct advantage. But yeah, we won't know until later on in this race, unfortunately.
No, we won't have long to wait. We are, as we've just mentioned, approaching the halfway mark here, 2 minutes away. And then we'll start to see many of the cars come in. They might come in slightly later than planned. Tell you what, Kevin Ford's nice fuel and tyre information that he sends over to us for every race meeting, it may have just been thrown out the window because of this full course yellow period. Tyler Shiflett and Michael Ruddock are two of the front runners that have come into the pits at the end of this lap. They are joined too by the other Ruddock, that's Russell Ruddock. 3 Ford Mustangs in at the end of lap 10 here, as we ride on board with Dan Bristow in the D2D Motorsport Silver car. Running a bit wide there on the exit is 20th place is John Allen.
Because John had a good week last week, and yeah, is he pitted? Yeah, John is one of the ones that's pitted actually, and straight through goes Bristow.
That's a great move.
But yeah, so Allen in a really strong position considering he has taken the extra stop.
Good move around the outside there by Bristow, even if Allen may have backed out of it there. You can see the pit stop times and the pit lane times at the bottom of your screen for the Ford Mustang cars.
And of course the little dots that are sort of got a bit of opacity going on the mini map as well indicates that they're in the pit lane, like you see 33rd there showing. So gives you a good idea who's in the pit lane and just come out or not.
That was Katakouzanos, the Ford Mustang that was out earlier on. Didn't get too far at all. The other cars that have been consigned to the sidelines here, Bobby Charles and Derek Holland, two of them involved in the wreck at the exit of Degner. Great battle here between Ryan Walker, Dan Bristow and John Allen. Walker last time around was 6 tenths of a second slower, but this lap it looks like the Youth Energy Racing car has turned it on a little bit, because he's right on the boot lid of the D2D Motorsport Silver car, going through the trouble spots in this class earlier on in the race, the exit of Degner 2. Now up to the hairpin, see if the Scotsman can get by. No way through there just yet, but with half the race now gone, I wonder if the pit stops may help Ryan Walker get by. Into the pits come Kevin Ford and Stephen Thomas for what was second and third place.
Also being told by Bobby Charles on the chat as well that he's pretty convinced that Hartley doesn't have to pit again. So yeah, nailed the strategy basically. Obviously knew what the earliest point he could pit in and make it to the end, and yeah, that's useful information to have because he came in straight away and done that. Having a look at this race on the pits, is there going to be a change between Stephen Thomas and Kevin Ford? Not, because Thomas was already ahead, so yeah, good solid stop for him, although Ford taking a long time in the pits, like very long.
Hope it wasn't a
10 seconds there, that was.
Don't think get penalised 10 seconds for a speeding
no,
violation.
No, it doesn't look like a penalty,
sure.
so yeah, just a difference in strategy there, I think.
and see how that goes. Maybe 4 tyres or something like that. It is a tyre killer, Suzuka. Changes of direction. There are quite a lot of them. And I wonder if when we have the final 10 minutes here at Suzuka, that is when Kevin Ford might come into his own here. He's rejoined in 10th place. As a result of that, he may, once all the other pit stops have taken place, get up to about 7th or 6th. But we'll wait and see how that's going to go. Well, here's the front of the Mazda field. You can see there we've managed to filter the timing tower, so you can just see the running order for the Mazdas. There's Pasquale Iannucci, as Patti Iannucci still leading the way in the Crypto-G green car. Boris Venke in second, then it's Jim List in third. They're all right with each other here. Then it's Rob Hartley, who, as Alex was mentioning there, thanks to Bobby Charles getting involved in the chat.
Say that, but Giuseppe's in there saying, look at John Allen, he's clearly fuel saving, you know, and he pitted it after Rob, so, you know, we'll have to wait and see, I think, exactly how this is going to go up, so, yeah.
Aaron in from the lead.
Yeah, just standard. I think his regular stop there, nothing out of the ordinary. He's not covering anybody off or anything like that.
No.
Even though he won't be too worried too much of an undercut. There is one available in the Mustangs, but he got himself back up to sort of 3-second lead, so he was quite comfortable.
So make mistakes, Aaron on. I'll keep an eye on the pit stop time. So can you at the bottom as well. But we'll wait and see what his pit stop time is. Most of the Ford Mustangs have done times around the 14-15 second mark, and away he goes. 15.8 second stop for the current championship leader, and he has rejoined in behind Dexter Castro. I did mention that he is behind Castro, who came in during the safety car period, and it's going to be interesting to see whether that Ford Mustang can now stay ahead. We'll have to wait and see whether he gets to the end. As into the pits comes Travis Venke from second place. Rob Hartley, who looks like he's sitting pretty at the moment because he may be going to the end on the fuel, goes through. And it'll be interesting to see whether Travis Venke gets out ahead of Mike Dam, who pitted at the end of the first lap of green flag racing after the restart, and has had a few laps on his tyres and fuel to get acclimatised. So we'll wait and see where those two rejoin in relation to each other.
Yeah, the debate on the strategy goes on the chat. Well, we'll just see how it's going to play out, guys. I think that's going to be the way it's going to work today.
Yeah, I wonder if there's going to be many I told you so's at the end here. Racing here in Japan today at Suzuka International Raceway, but Suzuka International Racing course. But Alex, we've got another Japanese circuit arriving soon on the iRacing service at Tsukuba. It'll be a good one. It's a nice, neat little track.
It is a great circuit. Of course, I know it from my Gran Turismo days, and of course it's a free circuit as well. Yeah. So it's going to be included in the base content, so everyone's going to get it, which is going to be good. Yeah, a fair few variations I was reading on the release notes that are on the forum now. If you haven't seen them, you can go and grab them. But yeah, it's going to be quite a good little addition for the base content, you know. And I'm sure these MX-5s that we're looking at right now, they're going to visit there in like the rookies and the basic classes that it competes in. For the new members, yeah. So it's going to be a good one.
I'm going to say I only know 2 of the layouts. Sounds like there's going to be more. As wide goes the car there, Jim List, which allows Rob Hartley and Dave Payton through. I'm going to say that many of the rookies will be well acclimatised to the Japanese tracks by the time they graduate to the D class, or if they graduate to the D class. Okayama, now Tsukuba as well. 2 very good tracks there. Looking here then at the battle between Kevin Ford and Russell Ruddock. A purple middle sector by Tyler Shiflett, who's behind those guys. See him there in the orange car, and Kevin Ford goes by. I believe that's an overtake, rather than Russell Ruddock putting the pressure on. So that's Kevin up into 9th position now. Of course, got the Charlotte Road course as well, which has been reprofiled since the arrival of the NASCAR Cup Series to that layout. even got a very interesting chicane just before the start-finish line, which I'm sure if the some of the other series that we cover on this channel on Apex Racing TV end up racing there, then that could cause some pretty interesting finishes when you're flying around NASCAR Turn 4 and then having to get on the anchors for that final chicane.
Yeah, I think you're right. Did look good, and the little video that they did with the was it 3.5 that was going around there? I think it was the 3.5 that was going around there. It looked quite like it's going to be an exciting, fun one. So good. And just to talk about the build for a second, just while everything seems to be settled down as well as far as it can be with the MX-5 field, of course. But yeah, so the major things, I guess. Obviously, we've got day to night transitions coming in as well, and they've gone to town with making sure that works properly in the way that the shadows obviously cast in temperature variations on the circuit and things like that. And yeah, when iRacing do it, they always do it properly, so it's worthy weight. I mean, I was never too worried about it, to be honest. It wasn't a feature I really wanted. But I know a lot of members have for a while, and of course it's here now as well, so that's good. Like you said, and Charlotte, all good additions to the sim. 2 new cars, so if you're a European road-based driver, you'll know those cars really well, and that should be a good addition. But I think my concern on that one is definitely what they're going to do with some of the other open wheelers, because like the Star Mazda must surely be surplus to requirement now, and leaving it on the service just takes away, splits your base, and make members base a bit thin. So I'm a bit concerned by what they're doing with the open wheel. But yeah, a few other little bug fixes and things like that. Some UI beta stuff been updated, so they've thrown a load of stuff in there. I can see they're working on sounds as well. Look at all the cars have all got like new gearbox sound engagement noises and things like that. So yeah, this is quite a big build.
In time for Christmas as well. I'm sure you'll hear many sounds in your headphones, Alex, when you're taking the Formula Renault 3.5 out for a spin. But few pit stops happening. You would have noticed that Pasquale Iannucci came in at the end of that previous lap in the Crypto-G green car. He is now dropped down to, I believe, 24th position overall. You can see there on the timing tower on the left, it's 14th in class, and it even means that Mike Dam's got by as well. So basically, take Rob Hartley out of it, and the leader would be John Allen, who we've heard from the YouTube chat is saving fuel like crazy too. Geordie Fike is the other one that has pitted underneath the safety car. So there are 2 or 3 other cars aside from Rob Hartley that are in the same boat as him, and we'll have to worry about saving that little bit extra fuel. Let's go on board with him actually, as we are. See if he's doing any lifting and coasting going into. I was about to say
that's going to be the key thing. Of course, he's in the draft right now, so that's always going to help. But yeah, it's whether or not we can hear this very telltale sign that he is saving. So lift off. We're looking at him lifting off maybe like sort of 10-20 meters early, depending on how much he needs to save, and then brake just a fraction later than he would do. Nothing there. It didn't sound like it was at all. It sounded like full throttle all the way up until the braking zone. So he is saving, just doing it purely in the draft, so his numbers can't be too far off at this point.
See the minimal input of the steering wheel going into spoon curve there. Just had a small touch of the wheel and it got sent in straight away. Now going through 130R. This is the battle for 5th place in class between John Allen and Dan Bristow. Defined Auto Works versus D2D Motorsports Silver as we go for the Casio Triangle. Not the best line on entry there. Jim List, who's just in front of these two, has come into the pit. So too Eric Violet. So these two are going to gain 2 places here.
So easy to first curve there on the final chicane. So gonna hold it too much against Bristow, that's for sure. I've done that many a times.
So I haven't raced at Suzuka too much on iRacing, that's for sure. I did a few IMSA Sports Car Series races last year. Did a few Blockpan Sprint Series races too, but haven't really raced around here in the Mazda MX-5. That's for sure. But yeah, here's the battle for 4th and 3rd then. Final spot on the podium potentially up for grabs here if these two can make it to the end. You can see from the clock that we're getting ever closer towards the end of this race. We're approaching the 3/4 distance mark here, nearly 45 minutes into this one, and it's been a dramatic race to say the least. Started off a bit of contact involving Kevin Ford, and then further around there was a crash in both classes, and a 4-course yellow scenario had to come out and bunch the field up for a couple of laps. Dexter Castro is dropping down the order on my screen. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm right into the pits as well.
Oh, it's right into the pits.
Not sure on Dexter.
Might just be me.
There he is out there, no problem.
Already, mate.
What we will do is go and check in for our final advert break of the evening. I give a chance just to visit the little boys' room as well. And, yeah, it's crept up on me. That'll teach me for having a massive cup of coffee before the start of this one. But yeah, so just stay with us here at Apex Racing TV. We'll just go check in with Ricmotech once again, and of course let the drivers know about the iRacing. The Ricmotech Extreme Motorsports sort of swag shop that they've now got going on as well. Back in just a second. Back in a sec then.
Alright.
Are you a fan of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series? Now is your chance to show off your favorite sim racing series by visiting our online store. With clothing and apparel for women and men in all sizes, merchandise and gift items like coffee mugs, laptop skins, mouse pads, and many more items to display your passion for sports car sim racing. Visit us today at ExtremeMotorsports99.com and click on the online store button. Thank you for watching and supporting the Ricmotech Sports Car Series.
Right, coming back in, Adam?
Okay. I think we're open, Alex, anyway. Hello,
yeah,
welcome
sorry,
back.
I forgot to mute. My apologies, everybody. Right, over to you then, mate, sorry.
No problem. 14 minutes to go. You can, and there have been pit stops. In fact, somebody's come in twice. That was Leon Wright. But either way, with a couple of laps to go, Aeronom now leads. He's got a 1.3 second advantage over Dexter Castro. You can see the advantage there. and it's going to be interesting to see whether Castro can hold on to that second place. He was the one that pitted during the safety car while he had to repair some damage. So all of a sudden it looks like it could work out rather nicely for him. Stephen Thomas is in third, Leon Wright fourth, Brandon Whitworth in fifth. Great job by Leon Wright, by the way. He's gained 8 positions since the start of the race. Then it's Mike Ruddock in sixth, then it's Kevin Ford seventh. He's lost 5 positions. He's hoping that in the closing 30 minutes that his tyres, which it looks like he's taken 4 of during the pit stop, will help him gain those positions back. As things stand, he is, I think he's 1.3 seconds off the next car in front. And it's Jeff Jacobs in 8th, Tyler Schiffer at 9th, and Reid Miller in 10th, with Russ Ruddock 11th, Roman Bader in 12th, and Jennifer McDonald in 13th. That's the state of play in the Ford Mustangs. Over to the Mazda MX-5s, and it's Rob Hartley leading the way. It's the fuel savers that are currently leading the way. The 3 of them, Hartley, Allen and Fike, all in control at the front. We'll wait and see if those 3 can make it to the end. The one that will benefit, the first one to benefit if they do run out, is Travis Schwenke, who sits in 4th place. So we'll wait and see that one. There he is, and he's got Mike down right behind him too. So those 2 will be the first to take advantage should anything exciting happen, with the likes of Hartley, Allen and Fike potentially running out of juice a few laps from home. So we've got that potentially on the cards, as those guys at the front will be looking at the fuel gauge meticulously, hoping that they don't run out with such a short period of the race to go.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen it where, you know, the MX-5s haven't been all over each other, so there's some pretty sizable margins out there. If we have a look, you can see in the green, it's the green dots really they're paying attention to. You know, first, second and third, massive gaps between them, and fourth there as well. Fourth and fifth very, very close. So, yeah, huge. Just goes to show what can happen when you throw a, you know, a safety car into the mix, really, or a full course caution as it was. At the track, it's just everyone's just so spaced out as well.
Yeah, the Mazdas haven't even been lapped. That's how things have shaken out here. Everybody pretty much that's racing in the Mazda MX-5s is on the lead lap. So with just over 10 minutes to go, I can't see Aeronom getting to them in time either. It is very similar. It's probably one of the closest lap times we've got on the whole calendar here, as through goes some of the Mustangs lapping Mazda traffic. And it's pretty close
up there.
Oh, has somebody gone off? It's Andrew Fawcett.
That blown engine. Just dust on the side of the track, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like he's still got drive for the most part anyway. There he goes through what the Cassie Triangle looked like originally, and it looks like he's either stopping to wait, let everybody through, which I think he is. Going to find a space. There he goes. And he might have broken something at the rear, because that car does not look like all 4 wheels are pointing in a straight line.
And what's your view? Old chicane or new one? I mean, the profile's not really changed a great deal.
Bit more open, I'd say, than it was back in the 80s when Senna and Prost collided there, I'd say, anyway.
I'm not sure it required a complete new bit of the circuit, though, just for that. You know, it could have easily been reprofiled.
There we go. I don't know. I know the pit lane's changed over the years. Remember the pit lane entry when the F1 cars first came to Suzuka was before the final chicane it started. Yeah. It's been shortened a bit. Remember the leading constructors always used to get the last pit box as well, so they always used to drive straight out that race. But either way, here's the battle for 4th and 5th. It's between Leon Wright and Brandon Whitworth. They have got some Mazda MX-5 cars for company, and they've got Michael Ruddock sat not too far away from them either. So if they do start slipping up, then he'll be able to take full advantage. They are a bit of a way away from Steve Thomas, though. They are 5 seconds down the road, as we've now got 9 minutes left.
Yeah, and 10 minutes of full course caution, it really has shortened this race off quite a bit. Quite remarkable, actually. Into the business end already.
Yeah, not too long to go to decide this. It may not be, it may be a formality in who's going to win it in the Mustangs, but it's still everybody's guess in the Mazdas on who's going to win that one, as Whitworth and Wright are so close going into the final chicane here. Thinking a lot of that inside curb and all one as well. Curb's quite high up there. Now back onto the front straight again. The gap is about half a second as they come across the line. We'll see what the lap times are.
Was it from Whitworth? Just right, got good exit and sort of stretched out of there a couple of tenths, and I think that's enough.
21 as well. Wasn't able to reduce the gap by that much actually as he came across the line there to complete the lap.
Castro would be an interesting one to see if he can actually make it all the way to the end. In second place, of course, because he had that really early pit stop, didn't he? Hit on lap 5.
Pitted during the safety car period, didn't he?
Yep.
I mean,
yeah, so it might be a splash and dash, but he might be able to make it. So running quite a bit off pace compared to Nom now, a couple of seconds a lap. So I think these guys are actually quicker than he is right now. So maybe a bit of fuel saving going on for Dexter.
Very sideways there on the exit of the second Degner curve there by Leon Wright, and the same again on the exit of the hairpin. You can see we only have one retiree in this Mustang class, and that's Kazakouzanos, the other Bushfink racing driver. So we've got Team Bushfink topping and tailing the Mustang class here with, considering it's one of the longest laps of the season, not too many laps left to go to decide this. I'd probably say about 3 or 4. Gap's extended now up to 9/10 of a second. Yeah. Just on the second half of a lap. So
it can, how quickly it can change.
Yeah.
There's a good little battle going on here. 3-car battle. This is for 10th overall in the ST class. Walker's not going to be able to hold on to this, although he's got the draft, so he might be able to. For 1 minute I thought he was toast, but in the end picked up the draft off of Thorman and was able to continue.
With the S's using quite a lot of curb here. These guys have been lapsed by our leader Aero Nom, but they haven't been lapsed by any of the other Ford Mustangs. Shows you the dominance that he's had, even with Dexter Castro. That's a shame for him. It looked like it could have worked out a treat. It maybe could have done with maybe another 1 or 2 laps of a full course yellow, and then he might have been in with a shout. But crash! And that's Chris Torman into the wall. He hit it square on, so I wonder if there's going to be too much damage to that Mazda MX-5. Either way, it's definitely ruled him out of getting past those. Let's have a look on board as he goes into the hairpin. Everything looks okay here on the exit. Hard to tell, Alex, because from this point onwards he's turning right. So
yeah, I think he's got away with it there. It doesn't look too bad. He's going to be able to finish, so he's going to be able to maintain that championship lead. Oh, it doesn't sound quite right there, does it? So
oh, yeah,
already
he's
biked
struggling
into the pits. He hasn't been able to make it.
Oh,
One of those people that were saving. He pitted on lap 7.
Damn in again.
Again. So, wow.
Well, he pitted at the end of the first green flag lap on the restart, so even he's not been able to make it to the end, which makes you wonder, how on earth are Rob Hartley and John Allen going to make it to the end with 4 minutes to go? Have they executed it to perfection? Are they about to get a stunning victory? Look at those.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That's how much fuel saving Hartley's doing at that right now.
Let's listen to it.
Literally, he's just coasting through the Degners, almost cutting the engine.
I don't even think he's downshifting, He says they're upshifting, but we'll stay on board with him as we go through the long right-hander. Listen to this. There you go. Listen to that.
There's quite some talent, you know, to do that. Oh, as he lifts the clutch back up, and suddenly the car engages again.
Oh, someone stopped.
Don't know who that is on the right.
Patrick Prevenus is gone. Literally revving it to death there. Dear me, as we went down the back straight. John Allen looks like he's carrying on as well. He's probably applying the same tactic here. It's a fine art, and you saw there as he got back on the revs going through the second part of Spoon. It nearly ended catastrophically from there. Through the chicane.
Sounds like he's out of fuel.
And in.
Yeah. Well, he couldn't make it. Now he needs to make it to the pit box.
Well, he's got a 23-second advantage to Travis Schwenke. John Allen's in too. So
yeah, Allen couldn't make it either.
If it's a splash, whereabouts are they on the circuit? Here is Travis Schwenke. This might be actually a little bit close, you know. It depends on how quick they're going to be able to get to their pit box and get that little bit of fuel to get them through the final 2 laps. They've only just got in their pit boxes now. And Travis Schwenke is coming onto the front straight. So John Allen is away. So too Rob Hartley. They're not going to be in the lead. That's for sure. And I think they'll be passed too by that group of 3 behind as they come across the line. Yeah, they're both passed by that group behind too. So Rob Hartley emerges in 5th place. John Allen behind him in 6th with just over a minute to go. Fine margins with the fuel.
Yeah, Travis. He's played this one right. He did come in early, but not too early, did he? Lap 12, he pitted in. You know, and yeah, I think Dan perhaps just jumped, did he? A little bit early when he saw Hartley come in and just didn't really know what was quite going on there and overreacted to what Rob was doing, and it's caught him out big time because he's had to pit again and he's got huge margins around him right now with only 30 seconds left of the race. No way for him to make his way back, so won't be the result Hartley wanted. It's just a bit of damage limitation for both of them, really. Could have been a lot worse. But yeah, this man hasn't made any such mistakes. There's a battle going on right now between Kevin Ford and Michael Ruddock. They're side by side through the S's. Well, Ford's going to complete it going into Dunlop Curve. Where is Nom? Because we've got, what, half a lap to go here. I mean, the counter is up, so this is the final lap.
Yeah, this is the final lap. What a day it's been for Aero Nom. Slightly more out of the ordinary than usual, but the Team Bushfink driver has not been phased. When does he ever get phased, it seems, in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series? The Mustang driver, very rarely a foot out of line as he goes through boom curve for the last time. Climbs up the hill. He's got a Mazda here that he will lap. Looks like Dave Payton, who is struggling somewhat. Indeed he is, and I think he might be pretty happy that he doesn't have to complete another lap because he's now been lapped by Aero Nom. Going to make it 10 out of 10 here with just a few weeks to go. I probably wouldn't rule him out completely sweeping the entire season. Through the Casio triangle, onto the front straight. Checker flag at the ready, and it waves for Aero Nom, who wins round 10 of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Look at this, into the final corner. It's all about the podium. Brandon Whitworth versus Leon Wright. Right on the inside. Going to be a drag race to the line. Kevin Ford's arriving on this Battle 2. Is a drag race. But it's going to be Brandon Whitworth that gets it on the line by 67 thousandths. Look at this, these guys are all on their last lap.
Yeah. Oh, did we miss them? Actually, where is...
They didn't get laps by Nom. Yeah, this is the last lap. And they're on it. Benke's got a 1.1 second advantage. He runs very wide. My word.
Well, all of a sudden, Travis is under the cosh here. I don't really know why. He had like almost a 4-second lead.
Maybe he's now has to worry about the fuel saving. He pitted what, maybe 2 or 3 laps later than Mike Dam? Either way, the gap's now 4 tenths of a second. I've once ran out of fuel at this circuit. I was in a Blancpain GT race. I ran out of fuel on the exit of Spoon. I was somehow able to coast back. I did lose a hell of a lot of time. Shows you how poor the race was that I was in, that nobody passed me in that time. Don't worry, I wasn't the only one in it. Through Spoon. Now it's to climb up the hill. If Schwenke has got concerns about fuel, I think we're about to see it because the gap's coming down. It's less than a tenth of a second.
Yeah, Iannucci through. Everyone's streaming past. Oh, someone said he doesn't get the fuel numbers wrong on the chat. It was the kiss of death for Travis because he's dropped behind all of these guys.
Whoa.
So Iannucci, Hartley back in there as well, even though he needed that splash. This is going to be great. Can he get the exit out of the final corner? And that run. Oh, I don't think he has. Not quite the run he wants. Iannucci will cover the inside, make him go the long way around.
And there it is.
Great
finish.
racing. And somehow Hartley comes out second. I was talking about him being 5th or 6th place just 30 seconds ago. And yeah, finishes in second. So what a great result.
Schwenke demoted to the back of that group. He finished 6th in the end. And he was the last classified finisher in the Mazda MX-5s. My timing screen's just gone doolally.
Yeah, mine too, actually.
Cars everywhere.
I'll get the standings up first.
But a great evening's worth of action here at Suzuka. We've had safety cars. You don't often get that in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series and whatnot. Is there something wrong there, Alex? Oh yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Bring up the GS category, and it's a race victory, 10 out of 10. Ferrero Nom. Steve Thomas 16 seconds behind in the end. Brandon Whitworth 3rd, Leon Wright 4th. Very, very close, just those 67 thousandths of a second between them in the end. Then it was Kevin Ford in 5th. He very nearly gate crashed that battle then, recovering after taking a slightly longer pit stop. Mike Ruddock in 6th, 7th Tyler Schiffler, Jeff 8th is Jeff Jacobs, then Reed Miller, Russ Ruddock in 10th, and then pit stop caught up with him and he had to make a small dash for the pit lane at the end. And the cars that are behind him, a good battle between those 3 incidentally. Linton McMurphy, Mike Dam losing precious points there, sat in 11th. Chris Torman in 12th, then Dan Bristow, Mike Taylor, Mikey Key, Edgar Sanchinelli down there too. And then the cars had issues during the race. Patrick Prevenus picked up a bit of damage. 6 laps down, Andrew Fawcett, Bobby Childs as well. One of the ones involved on the exit of Degner. And Derek Holland also involved too in the wreck that brought out the full course yellow.
Right, we've got just enough time just to have a very quick chat with the race winners and class. I've got to be up in 3 hours time for work, so yeah, I haven't even got to bed yet, so it's a bit crazy tonight. So let's bring Aero in. Over to you, Adam.
They're on 10 out of 10 for the season, and a very decent win. But it was a bit of an eventful race. Things started off okay, but then you had to deal with the full course yellow.
Yeah, I had very good lead and was burning fuel like crazy. So yeah, it was a little bit difficult, but yeah, at the end it wasn't any problem. Only the fuel numbers were messed up for me because I did do them in prior to the race, so that was the only problem.
As the fuel numbers were changed a little bit, did it mean that you're having to do some maths while you were driving about on the circuit?
Yeah, but I calculated 1 lap wrong, so I had too much, but that was okay.
Yeah, rather one too much than one too little, I'd say. Things are going so well for you this season. Suzuka looks pretty much a dominant display from you. Not too long to go before the end of the season. Do you reckon there's a potential for you to get every single race victory this season?
Yeah, I have to see it. Next race is different track again. This time I didn't practice much. In the quali, the first lap I got the black screen like I did in Snetterton 2 seasons ago, so that ruined my first lap, so I had to tow. So I was worried about that the whole race, and 1 lap to go, suddenly all cars disappeared, so that was a little scary, but yeah, I have to see. Is the next race already the last? I can't remember.
Can't remember either, and I think I think we might have 2 more weeks left after the week 13 build. I'm not too sure, but either way, it does show that things aren't completely smooth, even if it looks it at the front. Well, Lara, just before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anybody?
Yeah, thanks Tex for trying to give me 4x and there in the end, but yeah, thanks to everybody in the league and you guys and the sponsors.
Right, well done on another win. We've talked to you quite a few times this season, and I wonder we'll be talking to you again in a few weeks. But for now, enjoy the win.
Yeah, thanks guys.
On that, another win. And we have got Alex Castro and Stephen Thomas, but are we out of time, Alex?
Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to get Pat in. So yeah, I'm sorry guys. I do hope you understand. Yeah, I've got to get up crazy early tomorrow, so hours of sleep. Not an awful lot to live on. So yeah, we'll wrap it up. Thanks very much. Yeah, we'll be back next week. Yeah, sorry Adam, over to you. Final thoughts, and then yeah, to bed.
There we go. Well, a quick bedtime story for you. What a race it was here. Not often we get a full course yellow, but 2 separate crashes, one in the Mustangs, one in the Mazdas, was enough for the organisers to throw the full course yellow. Threw us a little bit. They didn't deploy the safety car, but it meant that everybody bunched up, and a few different fuel strategies were enforced as well. Dexter Castro trying something in the Ford Mustangs, but that was to no avail, and it very nearly worked out for the cars in the Mazda MX-5 class. Rob Hartley very nearly getting the victory when Travis Fenke ran out of fuel a few meters from home. I wonder if we'll get the same in 2 weeks. I wonder if these 2 cars may undergo a few bits of changes, because the iRacing build is out tomorrow, and we'll get to see it in use in this series in a couple of weeks' time, as I believe we may be on a break this time next week. We'll wait and see, but for now, from here at Suzuka for round 10 of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, thanks very much for watching, and from me, Adam Bath, and from Alex Simpson, it's a very good night to you all.
The following is a presentation of the iRacing Esports Network.